Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Season 2, IOOGO Sessions. I'm excited to be with you one more Thursday where we'll learn from the experience of another great guest. I guarantee that at the end of this episode, you're going to walk away with a ton of great ideas for your own business. If this is the first time that you're joining us, I invite you to visit our website, ioogo.com, IOOGO. And go into resources, and you'll find all of our past recorded sessions so you can catch up to where we are today. Don't forget to join our small business hub on LinkedIn. We've created a place where you'll be able to connect with other startups and founders, and you can learn from each other's experience, share whatever wisdom you have with other business owners. So in today's episode, it is named Social Media Marketing, Connecting Data, Customers, and Performance. And to answer all of our questions, we have another special guest. His name is Max Muir. He is VP and co-founder of Established PR. Max started his first company in the clothing industry when he was 15. Years later, he got into marketing, which is where he learned about building relationships and connecting with people, not only for business, but also on the friendship level, which is so important in business. Max had 26 jobs over the course of his life until he turned 23. It's crazy. He went full-time into building his own business. And for the past 2+ years, he has worked full-time helping other business owners scale their business and their brands utilizing major media placements in sites like Forbes, Entrepreneur, or Inc., as well as getting people featured in TV shows, podcasts, and even getting that special blue check mark on Instagram. So without further ado, welcome to IOOGO Session Season 2, Max. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for the lovely intro, Christy. Great to see you as always, and excited to be here.
Great. Well, so, I kind of told everyone you've got this great company, Established PR, where you work with a lot of, other startups, helping them really get their brand out there. So I got some questions for you today, kind of pick your brain and share all those good insights with other businesses out there who haven't yet figured that part out.
Let's do it. Let's dive in.
All right. Let's start. Okay, diving right in. So tell me, social media has made such a big impact. Before, a lot of businesses couldn't afford, they looked at commercials, TV commercials as a main source of like your main advertisement, but social media has become really prominent. Do you think that companies can make it in a year like 2021 without having any kind of social media presence?
I think you need to have it for sure. Like, not having social media is just you missing out on opportunity. Do I think that you need to be like crazy active with it, like be posting multiple times a day, every single day? Maybe not, but it is a place where like people can find you and they can see that you are real, which is important. Yeah. It's like another business card, it's another platform people can see you on. So I definitely think you need to have it for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think, we always tell any small business owner or any founder that definitely want to start with that social media presence. Do you find that though, a lot of founders are very busy especially when they're first launching their business and maybe don't have time to give to their social media presence? Is there a platform that you would recommend when there's not really a lot of time?
Like as in a platform that's
you can just kind of put it out there and step back and something like Google Maps if you have a physical presence or anything like that.
Yeah. So I think for people on social media, like if you're a busy founder and there's not a lot of time for you to manage it and but you still want to have that presence. There are a couple of things you can do. I think first off, it's always going to depend on what your vision is for you being on social media. Like, are you wanting to be online because you want to generate leads? Do you want to be online because you just want to look good? Are you on there because you just want to have credibility? It totally depends on that, I think, first off. And then I think so that'll help you determine like which platform you should really focus on. And then like, if you don't have time, then you can literally hire people to like take it over for you. And obviously I think you guys know how to do this, but like, you can hire assistants, you can hire a marketing team, and like, it doesn't have to cost you a ton of money either, which is so cool. Like, I think in the beginning we feel very like lack-minded, and we're like, I have to do everything myself. I don't have money to invest in employees. And it's such a mistake. Like, employees are literally the best thing that you can invest in. And social media is something that's so easy to replace. You just got to teach somebody and like show them what you want to have done every single day. And then boom, there's a little learning curve. It takes some time to figure out, but once it's set in place, it just runs on its own, and it starts creating traction. So that's what I would say is like, don't make it a big focus, because unless it's like a major revenue driver for you, like it should just be running in the background.
Great advice. If your purpose is to kind of put your name out there and let everyone know who you are and kind of what makes you different, what would you recommend on how to use social media to really differentiate yourself from a competitor?
Yeah. So every brand, I think, is a little bit, there are things about you guys that are different than obviously like TurboTax. There are things about us that are different than like some other PR and branding company. And like, I think we all know what those differences are. Right. Just like, we have differences within our personalities. And so I think just highlighting those things on social media is key, and also just being a real person. Like, even if you are a company, I think a big mistake that people make or companies make, especially in like the business entrepreneurship like sector, is they try to be too perfect. They don't look authentic. They don't look genuine. And I think like there are more and more people and companies like trying to look perfect than they are trying to look real. And like, you're going to get more engagement if people like think you're authentic and if they relate to you. Like, I think social media and relationships and like influence is all about relatability. Yeah, so I don't know if that answers the question, but that's what
you did answer the question. It kind of leads into my next question. So with established PR and social media, what has worked out really well for your business, and maybe what hasn't worked out so well?
Yeah. So it kind of comes back to that first comment I had about like, I don't think you need to post every single day, like once again, depending on your goals. And so for us, it's funny because, we are a branding company, and like, we literally forget to actually like build our own brand sometimes because we're so focused on other people's brands. But I think like what's worked really well is like us using Instagram as like a way to create connections. Like, one of my strongest skill sets on Instagram, I'd say, is like building relationships, generating leads, messaging people. And then I've just found that using Instagram as like I said, like a digital business card, and showing people like, hey, like, I'm a real person. Like, I'm somewhat legit. I like to think, just making my my profile and our business's profile look good, like having over 10,000 followers, having a decent amount of photos, and then, having story highlights, just so people can see, once again, that you guys have done something is important. And then posting like once a week, I think has worked for us. So.
Right. Yeah. Really good tips there. Not necessarily, a founder shouldn't feel pressured to go post something every day, but, still give it a little bit of attention.
Yeah.
Is kind of what
definitely.
I got. So at what point did you figure out or decide that, hey, this social media thing is great. I'm going to, along with other parts of marketing, but, build a business around it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I was actually really resistant to social media for a while. And like, I think I just used it as a personal place to post my photos and just post when I wanted to post. And I wasn't strategic at all with it. And it's like really hard at first to kind of find your voice, like within your page. It's like, who am I? What do people actually want to see? What are my current followers like? Because for me, as an example, I had all my followers are from high school and college, and like snowboard friends, or like people that have nothing to do with business. So I think for me, I've had to like slowly kind of shift like, you know, who follows me and like my audience, and like, but still be relatable to those old people. So while I've been doing that, I think I've just realized like, hey, Instagram is a great place to meet anybody, because literally like people are more active on Instagram than they are on their phones or on their emails. They're more active on Instagram than they are on LinkedIn. It's like literally like a limitless place to generate new business. So because they're like, think about how many hashtags there are, how many businesses there are on Instagram. Like you can, like I said, like I just realized you can touch anybody via Instagram. So I think for us, it hasn't necessarily been a game changer via like posting and being like amazing like influencers, but it's been a way to directly connect with people, literally just through DMs and through comments.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I'd much rather jump on Instagram and quickly see what's going on and things catch my eye.
Yeah.
Buying stuff. I mean, just recently I got sucked into and it wasn't even an advertisement. It was just kind of strategically placed there. So yeah, I can definitely see how Instagram's very effective. I just want to take I want to pause for a moment because I forgot to tell our audience that if you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, you know, please leave your questions for Max in the comments, and we'll make sure that we answer them either as we see them pop up, or at least by the end of the show, we'll make sure we get all of the questions answered. Okay, so tell us about a client that you saw that just reached an amazing success pretty quickly, faster than what you expected.
Yeah. One I'm really pumped about. So I think she's been working with us for maybe 4 months, and I think we're coming up like on her 5th month here. And like she does like body sculpting, so kind of like plastic surgery-ish, but not plastic surgery. I don't know how to describe it. But what's really cool is like all the exposure that she's been getting through like articles and through her like, you know, strategically posting them on Instagram and different platforms, literally led to an acquisition of her company to where it's going to be getting sold, like I think completely on the 31st of October for like, I don't remember how much, like 7 or 8 figures. And it's like, wow, you know, she's invested like a fraction of that, like working with us. And
that's so awesome.
Yeah. So like, that got me stoked. Like there's so many different outcomes that can happen. I mean, we've had people get featured, like I said, on TV, or we've had people get now companies sold. So, that's my favorite so far.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good timing on that one.
Totally.
You mentioned about her posting on, it sounded like within Instagram or in different platforms, or did you mean different social medias or something specific within Instagram that she was using?
Yeah. So, I mean, very basic actually. So like we basically helped her make like professional looking posts based on the articles that she had done. Like she was featured in Tech Times, she was featured in Yahoo. So we'd have her, like we would repost those articles via like a templated post on Instagram. I think she also shared it out via like email campaign, as well as just like Facebook. So I think those are her 3 main: is Instagram, Facebook, and email.
Do you think that it can be easier or harder to kind of market your business when you're in a real niche industry, part of the industry, or is it easier when it's more broad?
It's kind of the same in a sense. Okay. Like give me an example of like a niche. Like what are you thinking, like niche wise versus really broad?
So there could be a cup. It sounds like such a lame example, but a cup that can be used by any adult, gender, age, versus a very specific cup for 3-year-old, toddlers.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think you just have to think about like who's going to be buying what. So, say for this example, maybe you target for like the 3-year-old cup, like the toddler cups, you target like parents, or like daycares, or, people that are taking care of like that demographic. And then same with like any other kind of cup. Like, what kind of cup is it though? Like, is it a party cup? Are you going to market to 18 to 30-year-olds? Or is it like a drinking bottle for hiking? Maybe you're gonna market that to like people who are into the outdoors. So I think whenever you're marketing something, it's not necessarily about marketing to others within the same industry. Like, you're not trying to market your cup to other cup companies. You're trying to market your cup to people that would be buying it. So if you're a shoe company, right, you're gonna market to who would want to buy that. And so like, whenever I think about social media, whenever I think about PR, podcasts, like, it's about who would possibly buy this, and who would be listening that would possibly buy what we have or want what we have.
Yep. Great advice about, whether you have something more general or niche. Do you see any alternatives to social media as a promising platform within the next 3 years?
I'm sure there's always new stuff coming out. Like, it seems like every single month or something, but I think Instagram will be around to stay for a bit. Obviously, like, TikTok blew up pretty fast, and like, I personally haven't used it a ton, but I know people within my network have just like crushed it with TikTok as a really great organic lead generator. Like, you don't even have to spend on ads, and you can get the same kind of results you would get on like Facebook ads. So yeah, I think TikTok will probably stay around for a bit. I think Instagram will as well. There are a couple random ones I found. I mean, there's like one called Alignable, which is like a referral, which I think I actually invited you on that one. Like, it's like
I think we're connected there.
I think we are. Yeah, it's some weird like referral social network, but I mean, I've gotten a few conversations from that. So I think people always try to like create something different, but I mean, of course, like, the big like corporations are probably going to lead the pack. Like, I think Facebook and Instagram will probably always lead. So who knows? We'll see what happens.
What about, within the current platforms, do you see any kind of automation or AI within the next 5 years that will be useful to founders and business owners?
Yeah, definitely. So like, I actually have someone on my team who like we've brought in-house that does a lot of this. And this is not like me selling it. I'm just saying, like, I didn't even know it was available until I found him. But yeah, you can automate Instagram messages. You can like mass send out like 3,000 messages to like certain industries. It's funny. It's how I found Josh, actually. And then and like you can do that for Instagram. I don't know if you can do that for like TikTok, for Facebook. Facebook's kind of weird about it. They're a little bit more limited as far as like automated messages. Like, they'll shut you down pretty quick. LinkedIn, you definitely can. Like, there was a time where I was able to send out like 100 connections per day and 100 messages per day. And now I think it's down to like, you can maybe do like 20 to 30. So there are definitely softwares out there, and I think they can be effective depending on how you message people. Like, the messaging that's clearly like automated and like copy and paste template, I don't think works well. People just don't receive that. People want to feel like they're being talked to by a human. Right. So if you can get good at your copy and like have it sound as normal and human as possible, then you're going to have good results.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
We do have a question. The question is, have you had moments in which it has been difficult for you to generate content for your social networks? And if so, any recommendations to fix it?
Definitely have had difficulties. I still do. Yeah, I mean, especially if you're like a busy business owner, like, posting is like the last thing you think about. So I like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty bad about posting. I'm not the best person to talk to about it, to be honest, but yeah, but I mean, I think once again, it comes back to, why are you even posting? So like, are you like, you really have to post to grow your business? Because some people like think they need to be an influencer. They think they need to like have content posted every single day. And like, for the most part, unless you're like an athlete or an artist, or, you know, you literally have sponsorships, like posting is not making you money. And so if it's not making you money, it's not growing your business, it's not as big of a deal as you think it is. But to come back to your question, I mean, I think you should literally just set out like every weekend, maybe like on a Saturday or a Sunday, you just go out and like take a bunch of photos of yourself, get some different outfits, go to different places. Like, it's actually pretty fun. Learn how to utilize angles and lighting, and, you know, you can use your iPhone and do it. And then just like plan out how many posts you're going to do for the whole month or for the next week. And it's pretty simple to do that. And just like kind of analyze what time of the day is going to get you the best engagement, which, you know, you probably know what that is for you.
Right.
So yeah. Once again, like, evaluate if it makes sense to do it. And then if it does, then just invest time to knock out the content. So yeah, hopefully that helps.
Good. Yeah, good advice there. We have another question. Do you consider Pinterest a good way to promote e-commerce?
You know, I don't know if I'd be a good help on that one. I don't use Pinterest, but
Okay.
you know, people run ads on Pinterest, just like they run ads on like OfferUp and things to that extent. So it for sure can be, if you're willing to invest, you know, once again, if you're running ads on it. So, you know, I would say give it a shot. Why not? But once again, like, there are other ways that are probably more effective, that are more direct. So I would just ask you back, like, what has been working for you so far? And what have you seen work with other people? And then just like duplicate that. Like, most of business is literally just duplication of what other people have done. So is art. Like, all good art is like copying other good artists and like kind of making it your own. So business is the same thing. Don't try to recreate the wheel, just like do what works.
Right. Yeah. I heard once about you can have the person that's first to come out with something, and they may not actually be the one that has the most success with it. It's the person that came in after them and took what they did and just made it a little bit better.
Right. Yeah.
Let the other one do all the hard work.
Totally.
Another question, they're just rolling in today. Do you think that videos are better to do than a single image or a carousel of images to kind of get attention from potential clients?
I assume we're talking about Instagram.
Yeah. Or probably any kind of
any
post, like Facebook stories.
Yeah, totally. I think as far as engagement goes, stories are better than, like, I personally like stories better than post. Like, especially, like, I mean, I'll try not to go too off track here, but I think stories that like ask questions, that have polls, where there's like, you're like almost like forcing engagement. I think those are great, because then you're getting people like messaging you back on DMs, and you're like actually having conversations. And then as far as posting goes, I mean, I think having a mixture, but typically what I see from others is that videos get less engagement than pictures do. I don't really know why, but they seem to. And then I think
short attention span.
Yeah, short attention span. I think like we literally have like a 10-second attention span now, or like even less. So it's crazy. But yeah, so I'd say like keep videos for stories if you can. I mean, or do reels. Reels are great. But like videos on your actual feed don't seem to be as effective. And then same thing with like multiple photos, like sequences of photos. I think those get a little less engagement than like your one-off photos. Like, just like put together like a solid, intriguing looking photo that like is very eye-catching, and it's relatable to your audience. And then like for the actual caption, throw some passion behind it, tell a story, make it informational, make it educational. Don't write a book at the same time, but just like a good like couple paragraphs. It's perfect.
Right. Good tips. I don't want to end this without asking you, because I know we've talked a ton about social media, but you do so much more. You really focus more on the bigger things. You know, what is your favorite marketing platform to actually really boost a business?
Yeah. So depends on the business, but I really like utilizing Instagram's DMs. I think that's like probably one of the more effective ways. If you're like, I mean, if you're B2B or if you're B2C, it's really effective. And then I think LinkedIn can be okay. But I mean, honestly, I would say like what works best for us is email. Like we do cold email outreach,
Mm-hmm.
and we get by far better results than we would ever get on ads. Like we can generate like 250 leads a week, like solid leads off of email. And like Instagram, like it's similar, but you can't do it as much because you can literally send maybe like 15 messages per hour, then they like block you.
Right.
So I would say email, Instagram, like if you're doing organic, like methods of building business for people.
Mm-hmm.
And then ads is like third favorite, like running Facebook ads or actually I like YouTube ads, probably the best. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, such great information. It sounds like there's a lot of people really found it really relatable to how they can apply it to their business. So thank you so much, Max, for joining us and sharing with us all of your experience and insights. I know I found it also helpful myself.
Yeah, good. Hopefully I wasn't just rambling on going on tangents.
No, all of it was very valuable and mentally taking a bunch of notes for sure.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you, Christy. Appreciate whoever logged in to listen. And yeah, hopefully I'll talk to some of you down the road.
For sure. And we'll make sure to get your contact info out there also if anybody wants to reach out directly to you. All right. So as we come to the end of this episode, I want to remind everyone to follow our conversation by joining the Small Business Hub on LinkedIn. Also, next Thursday, join me again. We'll be talking about how to stay compliant while you customize your business. Just like every Thursday, we will have another special guest to answer all of your questions. I'm excited about this guest as well. Remember to subscribe to the whole season at IOOGO.com and lean in with us every Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Time. All right. Thank you for joining. And until next time.